So this is the 7.3 right triangles 2, 45, 45, 90. We are going to work on the algebra review and the application and extension. Okay, so starting with the algebra review. First one says solve 2 times the quantity of x plus 7 is greater than 10. We're going to start by distributing the 2. So now we have 2x plus 14 is greater than 10. Now we're going to subtract 14 from both sides. And we have 2x is greater than negative 4. And then we're going to divide each side by 2. And we get x is greater than negative 2. Okay, the second one, we have solve the quantity of 3x plus 5 divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 10. We're going to start by multiplying both sides by 2. That gives us 3x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 20. Then we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. So we get 3x is greater than or equal to 15. Then divide each side by 3. We get x is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, next one says factor f squared minus 10f plus 25. So we need two numbers that multiply to get 25 and add or subtract to get 10. So that's f minus 5 times f minus 5. Next one says factor 2h squared plus 17h plus 21. We have 2h and h. We need two numbers that multiply to get 21. We have 1 and 21 and 7 and 2. So we need to place 7 and 2 in the correct 7 and 3 in the correct spots. And that one's done. Okay, next one we need to graph 2x plus 3y is equal to 15. We need to put it into a y equals mx plus b form. So we're going to subtract 2x from both sides. So we have 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 15. Divide everything by 3. And we get y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 5. So we're going to start at 5 on the y-axis. And then we're going to go down 2 to the right 3. And then connect our points. Okay, next one we have 9x plus 3y is equal to 6. Again, we want to put in the y equals mx plus b form. So we're going to subtract 9x from both sides. We get 3y is equal to negative 9x plus 6. Divide everything by 3. And we get y is equal to negative 3x plus 2. This would be negative 3 over 1. Start at 2 on the y-axis. We're going to go down 3 to the right 1. And connect our points. Okay, next one is to find the missing side. This is number 1. We're going to take the side we know and we're going to multiply by the square root of 2. So 3 square root of 2 times the square root of 2 and equal our a. 3 square root of 4 is equal to a. So 3 times 2 is equal to a. So 6 is equal to a. And we already know that b is the same as the one we're given, so that's 3 square root of 2. Okay, number 2. That's now our image. So we need to take the length we have and divide by the square root of 2. So we have 4 divided by the square root of 2 is equal to x. We need to rationalize the denominator, so we're going to multiply the top and bottom by radical 2. So now we have 4 radical 2 over radical 4 is equal to x. Four radical 2 divided by 2 is equal to x. So 2 radical 2 is equal to x, which is also equal to y. Okay, number 3. We have Spider-Man is testing out how far he can swing his web. He positions himself on the ground and shoots his web to the top of the building. The angle between the webbing and the ground has formed a 45-degree angle. He knows the webbing will shoot 450 feet. Okay, part A wants us to draw the situation. So again, we know that the angle between the webbing and the ground forms a 45-degree angle. And that his web, he knows the webbing will shoot 450 feet. We want to find out how tall the building is. So to get from the 450 feet to the x, we need to divide by radical 2. So 450 divided by radical 2 is equal to x. You multiply the top and bottom by radical 2. We get 450 radical 2 over radical 4 is equal to x. So 450 radical 2 divided by 2 is equal to x. So 225 radical 2 is equal to x. And because it's a word problem, we're going to put it into a decimal. So we get x is approximately 318.2 feet. Okay, so that's the answer to A. Okay, and I just record that in the top. Okay, now we're on B. Spidey positions himself to sling to a new building. This time the angle between the ground and his webbing forms a 60-degree angle. Draw and label a picture of Spidey slinging his web, and how tall is the building? Here's our picture. We know the angle between the ground and his webbing is 60 degrees. And his webbing will still shoot 450 feet. So for 30, 60, 90 triangles, we need to find the smallest one first, which will be our bottom one. So we need to take the 450 feet, and we need to divide it by 2. So 450 divided by 2 is going to equal our x. So 225 is equal to x. So now we need to go from that bottom side to the building length. So we need to multiply by radical 3. So 225 times radical 3 is going to equal y. So 225 radical 3 is equal to y. And we're going to put that into decimals. So that's approximately, y is approximately 389.17 feet. Okay, part C says which building is taller, A or B? A or B? So B. And by how much? So we're just going to subtract the 2 lengths. And we get approximately 71.51 feet. Okay, question 4 says, which has an area that is greater, a 30, 60, 90 triangle with a hypotenuse of 4 or a 45, 45, 90 triangle with a hypotenuse of 4? So we're going to start by finding our area of our 45, 45, 90 triangle. So we need to find our lengths. So to go from 4 to B, we need to divide by the square root of 2. So 4 divided by the square root of 2 is going to equal B. You need to multiply the top and bottom by radical 2. Four radical 2 divided by radical 4 is equal to B. Four radical 2 divided by 2 is equal to B. So 2 radical 2 is equal to B. It's also equal to H. Okay, to find our area is equal to one half times the base times the height. So our area is going to be equal to 1/2 times 2 radical 2 times 2 radical 2. So our area is equal to 2 radical 4 So our area is equal to 2 times 2. So our area is 4. Okay. So for 45, 45, 90, our area is equal to 4. Okay, now we need to do our other triangle. Our 30, 60, 90. We need to find our B first, the one across from 30. To go from 4 to B, we need to divide by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is equal to B. So 2 equals B. to get from B to H, we need to multiply by radical 3. So we need 2 times radical 3 to equal H. So 2 radical 3 is equal to H. Now we need to find our area. So again, our area is equal to 1/2 base times height. So our area is going to equal 1/2 times 2 times 2 radical 3. So our area is equal to 2 radical 3. And if we turn that into a decimal, our area is equal to 3.46. Therefore, our final answer to this question would be a 45, 45, 90 triangle with a hypotenuse of 4 has an area that is greater.